Hey guys, it's Autism Awareness Month, and I'm here today with Ralph Burgess. And let me tell you a little bit about him because he's just phenomenal. So basically, he's the president and CEO of Burgess Publishing and Trading LLC. His publications have been showcased on the NBC Today show. Please forgive me, on the NBC Today show, the UPN 9 with Brenda Blackman, Comcast Up Close with Steve Adubato, and PBS, as well as C-SPAN. So he's been in a lot of different places. He's also presented for the NJEA, New Jersey Education Association Conference, the American School Counselors Conference, NASB, and so many more others. The reason why I have him on today is because, once again, this is Autism Awareness Month. April is Autism Awareness Month, April Acceptance Month. And what we want to do is we want to provide more insight to resources that are available for people who are raising children with autism, have family members, friends, advocacy, educators, just anyone who works with a special needs population. And one of the things that also makes Ralph quite special is that he is the father of a son with autism, right? And his son's doing some pretty powerful things too. So Ralph, thank you for speaking with me today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I glanced through three of your books that you sent me, and I was really impressed with the fact that, once again, you have a certain emphasis on bullying and helping people to get beyond the bullying. Can you tell me a little bit about that, especially as it relates to kids with autism? Learning disabilities.
Well, I did write a book, Solutions for the Many Faces of Bullying. This is the book here. Okay, and the book has a potpourri of solutions for the many faces of bullying for a lot of different scenarios. With that said, I created a page called Individuality. I wanted to write a page about people being different than others and encouraging them to embrace the difference of others. And I'm going to read the page excerpt. It says, individuality is an inequality that sets one person apart from the other. There is nothing more important than you don't need to like or dislike the same things that the rest of your friends do. Encourage them to embrace other people's differences and get them to understand that when you embrace differences, you learn about differences, making you a better citizen, especially if you put forth that energy and the less people in your community.
Wow. So would this be appropriate for teachers and for like leaders? Because, think about this simple thing. There are people putting policies in place for special needs community, or people who have individual needs, etc. Could this be a tool for them to help them even understand the differences of individuals?
Well, yes. And not that, but you mentioned leaders. This book is used by many elementary schools, 5th and 6th graders, to mentor the 1st and 2nd graders.
Love it.
And well, all my books are used like that in some places more than others. Like the peer-to-peer leadership aspect of the book. So it's one thing when children are being taught lessons by their parents. They sound like Charlie Brown parents. It goes in one ear and out the other. Exactly. But when their peers are articulating that same lesson, they feel that it's cool.
I just attended. I'm sorry.
And that's why it's the name of my character, Cool Calvin, is to let people know there's nothing cooler than excelling academically. There's nothing cooler than being civilly obedient. And I remember purposefully kept myself off the honor roll just so I wouldn't be considered a nerd or not cool. But, I want kids to know there's nothing cool excelling academically and doing the right thing.
Right. I love it. I was just going to say, I attended the NCAA conference this year virtually. And the number one source of success right now with helping kids with anxiety, depression, and some of those other things has actually been peer mentoring. So they've been infusing a lot more of the peer mentoring to make sure that student athletes are able to, get through some of the pressures that they face on a regular basis. So I love the fact that you're doing this for the community. And I was just wondering, how much of an inspiration was your son in your writing and your collaborating for this book?
Well, you said for the solution to what?
For the book, for your business, just in general, how much of an influence has he been?
Well, tremendous influence. Not just him, but my other two kids, all my children. You know, I'm an entrepreneur. There's not a lot of people making a living. I can count on a half of a hand how many people I know making a living as self-publishers. For your kids to see you live your dream, they heard me talking about my dream while I was working, aspiring to be an author. Then they saw everything come to fruition that I told them would. And you can't put a dollar value on that. You know, my daughter, she's in medical school, and my son, he's a best-selling author. So, they are my inspiration. They're the reason that I try to do the best I can at everything that I do, because I know they're watching.
Okay, so you have three children. I'm quite sure all three of them are different. So I'm asking, or I'm thinking maybe that the differences amongst the three, especially raising a child with autism, may have did it in any way help you to say, look, you know what, there's a true difference in raising children. Like, children can be completely different, and I'd like to help share the importance of understanding the spectrum, that children can have or provide, or raising them, and the spectrum of needs, the spectrum of resources. Did that play any role in your book? Because you have
Absolutely.
okay.
Absolutely. I wanted to make sure position with an autistic child get something from this book. And they could get a lot from the book, not outside of the individual page, that individual. I just went there because that was the autism. My son's autism was the foundation of that page, But as I wrote this book, I thought about all three of my kids.
Yes.
I thought of my kids. I thought of things, situations that they've been in the past, which I've advised them. My daughter had a friend who was getting bullied by another. My daughter had a friend who was and there was bullying this girl for nothing. My daughter was just feeling horrible. And she asked me what I should do about it. I said, if you feel horrible, you should tell your friend. You don't like being friends with them. And if your friendship meant enough, I emulated that exact page. This is cool Calvin. This is Calvin's friend, was bullying this guy. Calvin took a stand. Calvin didn't like that, so much so that he told him, if you're a bully, you're not my friend. The reminder of the value of friendship. You're a good friend. You're going to advise your friend to do the right thing, even when it's not popular amongst the masses. And so that was an example. Individuality obviously was an example for my oldest child. And my youngest child is an introvert. He's an introvert. I think he's more creative. I mean, that includes my other kids than me. His intellect is off the hook. He's 17, junior in high school, but I had created something called lunch. Some people isolate themselves. They don't want to be seen as an easy target for bullies. Simply introverts. Okay, this is a boy who's an introvert. Alvin approaches him and simply smiles and says hello. Some kids gotta start a conversation. They want friends. It's awkward for them. But comes and break the ice with a smile and a hello, it does a lot for them.
And I like the fact that you incorporated all three, because one of the big things is that we want to make sure that when we're talking about families, families are typically not, all autistic children or all neurotypical children. So the simple fact that you have a book that can relate to the entire family is beautiful, and also provides parental tips. So once again, I just want
I
to
made sure.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I made sure that my son's siblings understood his diet and also understood his abilities. My oldest son went to school with his sister, who was a year younger than him, but they was in the same grade. They wanted to skip her. They wanted her to start third grade at 5. That was just ridiculous. So we skipped kindergarten, and she advocated for him. People would talk and say things about him and say he's to that, and she corrected him, no, he's not. He has autism and he's smarter than you.
And then
she was.
And that's powerful,
Yeah,
because that's powerful, because now he knows that he has somebody who he can count on. Do you know? A lot of kids with autism face the fear that I was reading something just really quickly. 42% of 42% of persons with autism have a lifetime of depression. 60% of kids with autism are bullied versus 25% of the overall population. And I believe I sent you the study. I can't find the number right now, but I believe I sent you the study on the increased rate. I think it's 3 times the rate of suicide for persons with autism. And studies show that when people have support, when they have people to communicate with, when they have those types of things, it can reduce depression, it can reduce adverse thoughts, or increase self-confidence, self-efficacy, etc., because you have an advocate. You know what I mean? You have someone that you can rely on. So your son having someone there all the time, be it a parent, a sister, or whatever it may be, has actually probably helped him to propel in a lot of ways. And I think, isn't he a published author as well?
Yes, he is. He is. And this is his book right here. What my story.
And so how old was he? I'm sorry, how old was he when he wrote his first book?
He was 27. He was 26. 26.
Wow.
And this was in a for 5 years. He wanted to publish a book. But I told him he had to get a degree first. He had to get a job.
And where did he get a degree?
He got State University. He graduated cum laude.
From where?
With a degree, Fayetteville State University.
Fayetteville State University, and he graduated cum laude?
Yes, with a degree in communications.
Excellent, excellent.
And he had his own sports.
He had his own sports, it cut out on you.
Yeah, he had his own sports talk show his junior and senior year in college. Well, he was a co-host on those shows. Okay.
Wow.
And he's a marvel when it comes to sports statistics and what have you.
I love it. I love it.
So, he's going to have, once we have the brick and mortar nonprofit, every Saturday morning, he's going to do that. And that was my promise to him, long as he kept up his promise. And we started off great, because that book on Amazon's top 100 new release list in July.
Say that again? Say that again? You said his book?
His book reached number 5 or Amazon's top 100 new releases in July.
I love it. I love it. So, Ralph, is there anything that you can say right now? I'm sorry. Is there anything
No,
that
I'm
you would like to
sorry.
say right now that you may think that we haven't covered that would help once again, parents of children with
Well, I
autism,
would touch back.
especially during, I was gonna say, especially during Autism Awareness Month. I'm doing a series.
Wanted to touch back on. Yeah, I wanted to also touch back on this book component. It teaches children and adults autistic terms, such as introvert, such as echolalia, if you're familiar.
Love it.
You know, that was a trait that told us we needed to get him evaluated. You know, my brother was the first to tell us that. I didn't want to hear it, you know, but after a lot of prayer and thought, we just wanted to position our son, to succeed. So we got him evaluated. We weren't in denial, and we said, okay, he's gonna have a successful life. You know, it was challenges, but you know, I wouldn't change him for 1 second. I wouldn't change
Beauty
anything
of
about him.
autism. The beauty of autism.
Absolutely,
It,
absolutely,
it enables us to all learn and grow. The beauty of autism. So,
absolutely.
well, I just want to say congratulations to you and your son on all that you're doing with reading and publications. One other thing that I'll mention, it says that there was one study done where it said that reading actually decreases the rate of the rate of mental health depression or mental health decline, I'm sorry, by 32%. So once again, it's one of those things that's encouraging, inspiring, and that's what we need more of, especially right now. We need
I
more,
agree.
more inspiration, more hope, more guidance. And I thank you so much for providing a resource and a tool, you and your son, a resource and a tool that can help get us all to the next level. As you said, the books are applicable for people who are leaders that are making decisions, teachers, parents, kids, friends, mentors, peer mentors, etc., so that we can all learn and kind of use some of the same solutions or come together with solutions and making sure that people reach their best quality of life.
And I also wanted to let you know, Saturday. Well, my son's been doing book signings every weekend.
Okay.
So this Saturday, he's going to be at the Starbucks in Fayetteville Cross Creek Mall. The 23rd, we're going to be at the Charlotte African American Festival, the 23rd. That's their 9th annual. And on the 30th, he's going to be at the Transfer Company in Raleigh. The Transfer Company is a food hall downtown Raleigh, a lot of different restaurants. And, you know, it's a great space to go find something to eat. He's going to be doing a book signing there from noon to 4.
Can you, and I'll put it in the description of the, for the YouTube, can you make sure that you give me his contact information or the information that people can look at to find him? Those
Sure,
three
sure.
places. We'll type it out. We'll make sure that's in the description.
Okay, I can give that to you.
Ralph, thank you so much for everything. Thank you for your time. You are a blessing. And once again, guys, this is Autism Awareness Month, Autism Acceptance Month. Let's learn a little bit more about autism and let's be inclusive. Thank you so much and take care.